can tell you how long the last 2 nuclear power stations on the model of that's planned for Britain that they want to build Hinkley took to build and bring online. It took 14 years to build them and 17 years to bring them online. If you're looking for any sort of answer to 2 degrees, things that take 14 years to build and 17 years to bring online are absolutely no answer at all. That's the simple answer. The longer answer is that we don't need nuclear for a low carbon and eventually carbon-free energy system. Germany is already planning to have 100% renewable energy supply by 2050. This is Germany, who are rather good at engineering and technology and managing to make things and do things in an effective, cost-effective kind of way. Germany is planning to do it. There's absolutely no reason why Britain shouldn't do it too. In terms of GM, I'm not quite sure what GM has to do with climate change, but I'll tackle the GM side of the question anyway. The fact is we need a different sort of agriculture. What we need are not huge fields of monoculture produced by huge petrol-fueled or diesel-fueled tractors into the far distance. What we need is an ecologically diverse, small farming system that works with the land, that relies on a huge variety of seeds adapted for local environments. So, there are health questions about GM, but really GM is the wrong direction because it's just the wrong sort of farming. And that's why GM isn't the answer.
What about no plough farming from GM? Ploughing soil is terrible for releasing the gases to that, and you can do no plough farming using GM crops. That is a much better way of farming in terms of not releasing greenhouse gases.
And you can do that with non-GM crops too. My first degree was agricultural science. It was a long time ago, but I never really practiced, but it's something I know something about.
Sheep.
And it also means that I am also probably the only party leader who can shear a sheep.
Always useful.
What was I doing? Why are people ignorant about climate change? I don't think people actually are ignorant. But what you have is a huge, big problem that's sitting there. And people also have lots of ordinary, everyday, often very pressing problems. When I was talking about how many people can't balance the budget at the end of the day or the end of the week or the end of the month. And if there's a huge, enormous, but hard to tackle, appears like it's in the future kind of problem, or the problem of tomorrow's meal, it's only human to think about tomorrow's meal. So that's one of the reasons why, as the Green Party, we need to do and campaign and work a lot on the everyday economic issues, because we have to give people the space in their lives, give them the hope in their lives that they can think about the bigger stuff. And I think it's not a problem of ignorance, it's a problem of there's so many pressing problems. The cost of products, and as you put it, forcing people to buy locally. We're not forcing, we're not aiming to force anybody to do anything. I spent last weekend with the Institute of Ideas, which is the most libertarian group of people you could possibly find, certainly anywhere in Britain. And we actually agreed on a lot of stuff. The Green Party generally isn't into forcing people to do things at all. But what we need to do, as I was answering this gentleman's question over here, is to actually see that the real costs of products are identified. And that means the £3 t-shirt doesn't really cost £3 at all. And the other side of that equation is I spent a lot of time talking about the living wage. We actually have to pay people enough money to live on. And until you do that, then it is difficult to change the economic system. But then, if you create good local jobs, then people have money to buy good local products. Henry Ford understood this. He actually, that great capitalist hero, he understood that he had to pay his workers enough that they could afford to buy cars. And that was a really, really radical idea when Henry Ford started making cars. But it's something we seem to have managed to forget. That if you keep slicing away at wages, if you keep putting more people on the unemployment queues, then actually people can't afford to buy stuff, and the whole economy falls apart. So both sides of these things, the income and the cost and types of production, go together, and we need to change both of them.